Good afternoon, security family. Hope you're having a great day. Today's question is, should an armed security guard smoke weed?
Blah, blah, blah.
So, should an armed security guard smoke weed? And I'm not talking about smoking weed while on duty. I'm not talking about being high while on duty. I'm talking about smoking weed 2 days prior to being on duty. Let's talk about what could possibly happen. But first, we need to kind of understand what happens in the body. When you smoke weed, the THC, which is the psychoactive compound, stays in your body and it's metabolized by fat. It's a fat soluble substance, which means that it's going to stay in your body, especially if you have a little more weight. That THC is going to stay in your body longer, and it's going to take longer for your body to metabolize it out. Now, most states don't have a standard for determining the impairment factor with THC. So if they find a certain level of THC in your system, they're just going to automatically say that you're impaired. Now, even though in some states like California, it is considered legal to use recreationally, it is still not federally legal. Now, another thing to consider is if you are involved in a self-defense shooting as a security guard and a blood tox is done on you and they determine that you have a level of THC in your system, even though you're not high anymore, there's no effect. You smoked it 2 or 3 days ago. That blood tox is now written in stone. That data is set, and there's nothing you can do to reverse that. Now, criminal courts, they may not push that. In fact, most prosecutors in a criminal court probably won't use that information. They're not going to pursue it against you. However, we all know that justice is not limited to the criminal. Justice is not limited to the criminal courts. You can be sued civilly for a self-defense shooting, especially if you shot and killed somebody and their family is suffering a loss. If they can prove loss, they've got a case. They can take you to court, and I guarantee you that the attorneys for that civil suit are going to push that THC level very hard. And they're going to try to prove that you were impaired because of the use of that THC. So, given that, I don't believe that it is prudent for an armed security guard to smoke weed because of how long it lasts in your system. Likewise, alcohol is socially acceptable. However, if you are shown to have any level of alcohol in your system, that could be used against you as well. But I just don't recommend, smoking weed. And here's the thing is that there are people who use marijuana for medical purposes. They use it to curb anxiety, to calm them down. Some use it for sleep therapy to help them sleep. To cure insomnia. And there's a lot of medical benefits out there, but you got to be very careful if you're an armed guard to make sure that if you do a self-defense shooting that you have an airtight case, and you've got to be very careful because you could be sued civilly. And at that point, there's no limit to what the prosecutors could try against you. Another thing to consider is that if for some reason your case goes federal, then you face the situation where now you're being tried under federal laws, and if you are found to be under the influence or even have contained THC in your body, and you used a firearm, there are several cases out there where individuals who had rock solid self-defense, but the fact they had THC in their system ended up putting them in prison. One was 60 months. There was another that was, I believe it was like 48 months. But in a federal court, there's no saying what could happen to you. So just be prudent. I don't recommend it because if something happens, you're going to go down for it. And you've just got to be above reproach. So that's my opinion. That's what I have to say about it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you think about security guards and the use of marijuana. So go ahead and leave your comment. I'll catch you later, guys. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like, comment, and share. Thank you much.